Welcome to Computer Science Learners channel. In this video we are going to learn Introduction to Operating Systems. Here the contents are definition of the operating system, computer system components, abstract view of system components, operating system tasks and the operating system objectives. Coming to the definition of the operating system. There are so many definitions given by so many authors. So for our convenience purpose, I am taking the most convenient definition, that is, operating system can be defined as it is a program that acts as an interface between a user of a computer and the computer hardware. That means without operating system, we cannot communicate with the computer system. Basically, computer system consists of different hardware parts. To work with the hardware parts, we need a software that is called operating system. We can call it as a software or we can call it as a program. And if you call it as a software, operating system coming under the category of system software. Okay, we can say that it is a software or it is a program. But intention is what? It acts as an interface between user and the computer hardware. And some popular operating systems we are having are Linux, Windows, Solaris, OS/2 and Mac OS. There are so many operating systems available, but mostly we are using these operating systems. Coming to the computer system components. A computer system can be made with 4 components. Here the first one is hardware. Hardware means physical components of a computer system. All the input devices, output devices, processors, okay, all are coming under hardware. Next, operating system. Even though we are having hardware, we need a software, that is operating system. Application programs. That means the operating system cannot fulfill all the requirements of the user. So we need some additional softwares. We call it as application programs. For example, if you want to prepare any PowerPoint presentation, we need PowerPoint software. To prepare a document, we need a Word software. Suppose I want to see a movie, we need a media player kind of softwares. Like that, we have so many needs. To fulfill all the needs, we have different application programs or softwares available. These are all application programs coming under system components. And finally, users. User might be human being, people, or machines, or other computers. So all these 4 components together and make a computer system. Hardware, operating system, application programs and users. Now we will understand abstract view of system components. We know already there are 4 types of system components are there. How these components are arranged. So here at the bottom level we have the computer hardware. To work with the computer hardware, we need a software that is called operating system, that is coming above the hardware. That means when you install operating system, in the sense operating system is coming above the hardware. To work with the hardware, we need the operating system, we know. And the operating system alone cannot provide all the user needs. So we need some application programs and system programs. These softwares or programs has to be installed on the operating system. So this is placed above the operating system. And if the users try to interact with the computer hardware or the operating system, through these system programs and application programs only users can interact with. For example, if a user try to write a C program and execute, he cannot directly interact with the operating system or any computer hardware. He need a software that is called C compiler. Through C compiler only he can try to write the program, compile it and execute it. Like that, if any user try to develop a text document, he needs some notepad or wordpad kind of software. Okay, through that software only he develops some text content. Suppose a user try to insert data into the database system. He has to install any database server like Oracle, SQL server. Then he interact with that SQL server or database system. Through that only he can communicate with the computer system. That means at the user level, try to communicate with the computer system in the sense through system and application programs only users can communicate directly. And these system and application programs works based on the operating system. So operating system here acts as an interface between application programs and computer hardware. Okay, so that is the abstract view of the system components. At the top level users are there, below the users user interaction is with system and application programs, and these are functioning based on the operating system, and operating system resides on computer hardware and work with the computer hardware and able to communicate the hardware devices. Now understand operating system tasks or functions. Okay, so here one function is user interface. So every operating system provides user interface so that the user can interact the operating system directly. So most of the cases users interact with the operating system through application programs, and some operating systems provide the provision to interact directly. Also there are command interfaces are there, graphical user interfaces are there, and most of the command user interfaces we can directly interact with the operating system. But when you come to the graphical user interface, we cannot directly interact with the operating system. Through system programs we can interact with the operating system. Okay, that is about user interface. So every operating system provide an interface. Through that interface only we can interact. And an application. So operating system works like an application. It takes the request from the user or from the application program and do according to that and gives the result. So we can say that an application. A task is an application. And process management. In a computer there are so many user programs are running at a time. So you can treat every program as a process. That means before the operating system there are so many processes. Now the operating system job is take one process and assign this process to the processor, because in a computer all these processes are finally processed by the processor only. Now operating system handle all these processes and assign these processes to the processor. When the task is over, it get the process from the processor and send it to back. So this entire task is called process management. This is an important task of the operating system. And memory management. In a computer there are so many memories available: primary memory, secondary memory, cache memory, registry memory. Like that there are so many memories are available. So memory management in the sense the data has to be stored in which memory. Okay, on that particular memory how the data will be stored, whether the data is stored byte by byte, bit by bit, like that. There are so many algorithms and methods are there to store the particular data, and the operating system doing all these managerial tasks related to the memory. And device management. For a computer system there are so many devices are attached, even though it is a personal computer or the computer using in any office. Okay, so different devices are connected. So printer is connected, scanner is connected, speakers are connected, mic is connected. So like that there are so many devices are connected, and user programs running in the operating system needs different different device services. Okay, now operating system identifies which devices are attached, which devices is busy, which devices is free, and what the user program requirement. Based on the requirement, it manages the devices. If the device is busy, put that process in a queue, and if the device is free, allocates the device to that particular process. Like that, device management has to be done. And storage management. So storage management in the sense how the data is stored, on which method it is stored. Is it stored in a continuous memory or stored in a different memory dynamically? Like that, there are so many techniques to store the data, because if you store properly the data, then only you can retrieve it, because we are dealing with so much of gigabytes or terabytes of data in computers. So for storing the data, for retrieving the data, we need to use efficient algorithms. If we manage these properly, then only we can get the things within time. So that is about storage management. So these are the important tasks by the operating system. It is not fixed. There are so many other tasks are there, but these are very, very important. And coming to the objectives of the operating system. So here the first objective is convenience. What is meant by convenience? So it makes a computer more convenient to use. That means when anybody try to develop an operating system, those persons or those software designers or engineers keep in mind to provide these objectives. So if the operating system is very convenient to use, then most of the people are coming to use that operating system or showing the interest for that operating system. So the best example is in our world, Windows operating system is the most convenient operating system. You can identify very easily what are the different tasks in Windows operating system, what are the menus, what are the new things, you can easily learn. So for that reason, most of the users are ready to use Windows operating system, even though we are having different operating systems. That is called convenience. And second objective is efficiency. If any operating system provide the task or doing the given task within a time, that means less time, and occupies with less memory. So here the important resources for a computer is time and memory. So if any job done by the operating system with less time, with less memory, we can call it as efficiency. Not only the time and space, but also different system resources. Okay, but the important resources for a computer is time and memory. Okay. Then the final objective is ability to evolve. This is very, very important objective. So ability to evolve in the sense the operating system is ready to accept the new features, new functionalities without disturbing its original functionality. That means we design an operating system. After some time, after a few months, I need to or I try to add some new functionalities to the existing operating system. So my current operating system should support. That means if I add any new functionality, these functionality cannot disturb the existing things. That is called ability to evolve. Then only we can add new features for the existing operating systems. Okay. So in this session we learn the definition of the operating system and what are the system components and where these components are placed by seeing the abstract view of the system components, and what are the different functionalities or tasks by the operating system, and what are the important objectives of the operating system. So I hope you understand this session. Thank you.